Welcome to today's episode of Visionary Ventures, where we're joined by Julia Samodurova, a luminary in the digital marketing and growth sector. From spearheading marketing initiatives at giants like Rocket Internet and Lazada to founding Unmarketd, a curated marketplace for elite performance marketing and growth experts. Julia has made a significant mark on the industry. Today, we'll dive into her insights on digital growth, her journey across leading tech companies, and her vision for democratizing access to top tier marketing talent. First of all, Julia, thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to host you on the podcast. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Very good, thank you. So looking forward to discuss a lot of exciting marketing stuff and as well as your journey from the beginning. So Julia, transitioning across major roles in high stakes environments must be mentally challenging. How do you prepare for and adapt to these significant changes?
I think it's like some people say it's challenging. I would say it's exciting. I am like a person of change. I'm a person of chaos. I can't live in like stable environment. I thrive where under pressure. So that's my thing. That's why and for anybody who is looking for advice, I would say just tailor your career to your personality, and
Nice.
that's the
So
most
you
important thing.
enjoy every step out of the whole thingy and the turmoil, and even when things go wrong, which
Yeah,
is part of
the more
it.
turmoil, the better.
Nice. Okay, so you thrive on
Oh
chaos.
yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, and do you consider yourself as like mentally resistant to all these stuff? And what's happening inside the brain of Julia in these moments?
Like I think like I wouldn't say like mentally resistant. Yeah, people refer to me as mentally resistant. Like as, but I think it's just like a natural thing for me. I would not be happy in like a corporate career. Where you have like you have security, but it's just also boring and you can't make impact and you just you know going 9 o'clock to the office. That would be much more challenging for me than just being in startup chaos. It's again like we different people are different and we like different things, right? So that's just you know how they talk about like a founder like a product market fit, but there is like a founder problem fit. So I guess that's that's the
So
thing.
so finding problems is the way to really come out of these situations.
Yeah, like enjoy the ride, right? So let's like try find beauty in everything.
Nice. And how would you like describe your mental strategies when it comes to really handling the pressure and the demands of leadership in digital marketing?
So just like know why are you here? First of all, like what's your reason, right? So and if you know your why, you can handle anyhow. So that's like and you're a free person if it's just you don't like it, you don't enjoy it, you don't see your why, like then you need to switch. Otherwise, you have to just
And why are you
persevere
here, Julia?
to solve problem.
To solve a problem.
And
Nice.
me,
I
yeah,
like that. I like that. How many problems did you solve so far?
I think quite a few, quite a few big ones, a few small ones,
Are
but
you
yeah.
happy with the results so far?
I think yeah, like days are happy, days some days I'm happy, some days I'm not happy, but yeah, I think it's a positive trajectory overall. So I think yeah.
Lovely. And moving a bit towards your physical state and health and focus as well. So, with a demanding career in digital growth and entrepreneurship, how do you manage your physical health?
Oh, you
Because
have to
I know
prioritize.
long hours sitting, not moving in front of the screen. So, what do you do?
So I think health is number one priority. If you don't have health, Nothing else matter. So I'm a runner and I'm a mountaineer. So like I work out daily and it's like a top priority. If I don't get a workout in, I do nothing. So it's just like, brushing your teeth. It's just important. And, being really mindful what you put in your body. That means eating healthy, not smoking, not, doing any harmful substances. It's like super important. I don't think, like it's just basics. It's like oxygen, So if you don't have oxygen, you're gonna die. I mean, if you're not taking care of your body, you're also gonna die, you know. And it doesn't matter how much money you made and like what's your career. It's just, you're not gonna enjoy it. That's why it's like you start your day with prioritizing your health, and the rest is.
I like the way you put it, like it's a top priority and it's like oxygen. Can you tell us a bit more about your routine?
Like by minute.
By sections of the day. How do you start
Like
your day?
I wake up
What
early.
kind of practices do you do?
So I wake up early, like 5 a.m. So it's just
So you're
important.
the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah, I'm 5 a.m. club. It's very important for me to see the sunrise, not necessarily sun coming, out of somewhere. Ideally, yes, but like we live in the city, right? We live in an apartment. I unfortunately don't see sunrise from my window, but yeah, like, this new day. I love it. It's like me time. I have my coffee. I think about my day, just first hour, like it's very quiet and, nice. And, I love coffee. That's my priority. But yeah,
Okay.
then I do some work, like maybe, another hour, just like respond urgent emails and things like that.
So you start the
So
day
yeah.
with
So
the
like
emails.
let's
Okay.
say like don't be surprised to receive an email from me at 6 a.m. That's normal. Yeah, I'm on my second cup of coffee. So most important one, I don't send emails before I had my coffee. That will take on a wrong path. We should avoid
Okay.
it. Yeah, and then I go for my workout, usually like 1 hour, 1.5 hour, and yeah, then I come back.
What kind of workout?
I
So
mostly
only
like
running?
mostly running. Yeah, like I make myself cross train because to avoid injuries and stuff. But yeah, like my
Injuries are the worst.
yeah,
Yeah.
my joy is coming from running. So yeah, but I have to prioritize other things just to
So
keep.
running 1 hour every day, that's your go-to strategy.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I mean, I'm trying to incorporate yoga also as a injury prevention. So, but yeah, mostly running.
That's nice. And what about your nourishment and nutrition?
So
What do you
I'm like
eat?
80% vegan. So that means
80% vegan.
yeah, that means I have cheat days.
20%.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
Cheat days mostly because food is also a social thing, right? And when I'm out with friends, I try to not restrict myself or don't not be
That
big.
means on the weekdays you're a vegan, and
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
the weekend you're doing everything and
Yeah.
you're consuming. Okay,
Yeah. So it's just like, to nourish my social side because, when you meet with friends and you have nice dinner and you don't want to be like, "Ugh, I eat this, I don't eat that. Ugh, no.
so you're a party goer also in Dubai. You're enjoying the outings and the parties and everything. Are
Not much of
you
a party
always
because
sociable?
I wake up at 5, right? So I need to go to bed at 9. So like not much, nightlife, but yeah, like, going for dinner, so that's fine.
Even on the weekends, you're waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah, pretty much.
Interesting.
Weekends, I'm in the mountains. So that's also another
Which
thing. So
mountains?
like we have a lot of mountains in the UAE. Let me start there. In Fujairah, in Ras Al Khaimah. I know for Dubai people it might be like a surprising, but we have amazing, mountains.
Would you
Yeah,
give us any hiking, mountaineering advices and spots to tackle?
yeah. Like I mean, if you go to Ras Al Khaimah, most of the trails are really well marked, and if you just Google and hiking trails in Ras Al Khaimah, they're very well made and safe if you stay on the trail. So yeah,
Nice.
take a lot of
I'll
water and go. I think you will not regret it.
Even in this heat, right now in the summer?
Like, I do it in this heat because it's also a training opportunity. So just starting like very early in the morning before the sun is up. But if you're a beginner, I would not recommend you doing it because it may become dangerous if you're not trained to hit and you don't know like how much water you need and this type of thing. So, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll have to pay Ras Al Khaimah a visit then, because
Absolutely, yeah.
I used to hike a lot in Lebanon and
Mm.
France, but never done it in the UAE
Oh
yet.
yeah, it's a very different environment and yeah, it's really beautiful. There are some spots closer to Dubai, like 40 minutes drive in like Sharjah. Yeah. So,
I'll contact you on WhatsApp
oh, definitely.
to give me the exact locations. Okay,
Yeah, for
that's
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
So, Julia, in the fast-paced tech world, how do you stay grounded? Do your spiritual or philosophical beliefs influence your business decisions?
I think like I'm more kind of on agnostic side, let's put it this way. So and just like I'm more like science based rather than anything. So that's why I'm trying to take care of myself and you know just not I wouldn't say much on
But
spiritual side or philosophical side.
okay, so if it's not spiritual nor philosophical, what does Julia believe in or look forward to? Like any values, any I don't know.
I
What's your
think
motto in life?
like in terms of yeah, just trying to be a good person. Whatever if you can help. If you otherwise don't interfere, let people be and let others be. So I think that's kind of
Be
motto.
and let others
So
be. I like it.
respect other people's choices unless they're not interfering with your choices. So that's like very important. I mean, we like in a country of tolerance. I think it's very important for me. So right, we have a lot of diversity and also people from different backgrounds and different beliefs, and there is a place for everybody. I think that's that's really important, and I really appreciate it. So yeah,
And how do you balance your professional ambitions with personal values and well-being?
I think like since I have my own business and set up the way I see it, right? So definitely not prioritizing profits above everything else. So like I don't have problem working away from even like a big project if it's not aligning with what I be doing.
You don't take it?
So yeah, I don't take.
That's interesting, and it's a good way, because this morning I was reading a post on LinkedIn of a coach and a consultant in entrepreneurship, and he posted something on LinkedIn saying that he refused 100K dollars deals and projects because they were not aligned with his values and standards. So I truly respect that, and I believe it's really important,
Yeah,
because nowadays we're bombarded by everything and we tend to FOMO a lot. Like you don't want to miss out on any opportunity and you hop on it and then you regret it and you're in deep shit and you go into a bad cycle. So
yeah, and I
that's a good
think
reminder there.
look, I think some people they really need money, right? And they just go for like I mean, yeah, and I've been in this position when I was younger, and then I was like putting myself through my education, or like I was just starting my career. So the money was priority because you need to live somewhere, you need to buy food, right? So you can like a lot of people they cannot walk away from work, they take any work. So, but now I think as I matured, as I build up my career, I'm in a position to choose what makes sense to me. That's it.
It's a good outlook. Thank you for sharing it. Now, could you share the journey that led to the creation of Unmarketed and what gaps you saw in the market that you wanted to fill?
So this is like basically my background, right? So I hired like countless people for performance marketing, for marketing in general. and I also advise like multiple startups and like larger companies, right? So, and there are like a few inefficiencies how the schemes work. First of all, like the hiring process itself, right? So when a young startup or SME, they cannot just afford the quality talent, right? Because of the market price and plus other costs associated with like having full-time employee, right? It's like number one, and then number two is that sometimes you just don't need a full-time employee, right? Because your budgets are not as large, or like even if you have like a large budget, it's too much for one person to handle, but like not enough for two people to handle, right? But you cannot really have 1.5 people, right? So that's how this part-time freelance people come into play, right? And then also like there are other places where you can hire like a specialist, right? But the thing is they're not really curated, and the startup founder they just have to go and look through these profiles and just find someone and they don't know, and they're just overwhelmed by the number of people there, so I'm just taking away hustle.
Yeah, exactly. So
you know
that's what I'm interested in, Julia. So, as someone who has worked with major platforms like Alibaba and Rocket Internet, what key business lessons have you applied in running your own venture?
So it's a little bit different because I deliberately choose to have it as a small business rather than a startup, right? So with startup, you like under growth pressure. Like originally when I started Unmarketd, I was thinking about building a platform and raising like VC money, and I even got like do interviews with like Y Combinator. It was like this, but it didn't end up for me being accepted. But anyways, and then I just slowed it down and focused on quality and the handpicking this consultants and everything. So that's how things went, and you know so it's really hard to apply lessons from high growth startups with like we see back into like a small business, right? But I would say the lessons from like what it takes to hire a specialist, I think these are the lessons. Yeah.
And why did you choose the UAE?
Just comfortable to be here. It's a great environment for launching your business. It's very straightforward, right? It's a very good quality life, and yeah, I think I'm just happy to
And
be here.
yeah, it's a good landscape. It's a good market, and especially if you know the region and understand the market and the different audience matrix, you're gonna enjoy the work in here because it's a good ecosystem.
Yeah,
But you said you don't have a startup, but you have a small business.
yeah.
Tell me more about that.
So I think there is like a misconception about what startup is and what small business is, because a lot of people think when they're just starting up, they're a startup. That's not correct, I believe, because startup implies high growth. So, and high growth implies that you're taking outside capital. Small business is usually where,
Bootstrapped.
like, where you reinvest your profits and you're more after profitability rather than hyper growth. So that's how I think defined, I would believe so.
Technically speaking, yeah, that's the true definition of it, and there might be a misconception to some. But so you're bootstrapping your own venture, you're reinvesting in your own business,
Yeah,
and where are you headed?
I think it's just growing it slowly, having more onboarding more specialists, having more clients, so but nothing like 30% month over month growth, no. And just I'm more focusing on retention, because that's the definition of quality work. I have some clients they've been like a first clients of Unmarketd, and they're still there, right? And you know for me, it's always, if someone leaves after 2 months, that's like I've done something wrong. I put like a wrong specialist on the project. I need to realize what's that and fix it. But if clients are staying for a year, over the year, that's like, this is a difference. So I have like definitely like a year plus. This is the lifetime of a client, right? While on this tech-enabled platforms is like 3 months. So that's the talks, I guess, about the having a good match between the contractor and the client, and as well as the quality of the.
And who are your current clients?
It's literally everything. A little bit, it's sector agnostic, and it's geography agnostic. So I have e-commerce, I have B2B, I have mobile apps. So yeah.
In 2 words, if you want to explain what is Unmarketd, how would you describe it? What is the solution?
Talent marketplace.
It's a talent marketplace. Okay. It's not for the MENA region specifically.
No, it's not
worldwide.
For the MENA region specifically. It's worldwide.
Okay, yeah. And it's focused on digital marketing and growth marketing, right?
Yeah, performance marketing and growth marketing specifically.
Nice. And what are some innovative marketing strategies that have been particularly effective for Unmarketd?
So Unmarketd is purely like retention, word of mouth. I create some content on LinkedIn, that's pretty much it. I never done ads. I never done deliberate sales. So it's just, organic and a bit of content marketing on LinkedIn. So yeah.
And that's the effective and like a true way to do it, and you're happy with it, or you have a step 2, phase 2 upcoming?
Like I'm happy with that. And like I don't plan to do like advertising or anything, but I guess for every business and every stage of the business, it has to be tailored.
Because you will not be utilizing what you learned and what you were trying to preach, right? If you're not,
I do some advisory projects, like if your concern is I forget what I learned. No, I won't. I do some advisory. It keeps me busy.
So on the side, next to Unmarketd, you're also doing some advisory and consultancies?
Yeah, like I wouldn't say I do it like regularly, but if the project is interesting, and I would definitely take it.
And how do you leverage your experience from global brands to enhance the services provided by Unmarketd? And how do you communicate these benefits to potential clients?
I think like selection, because as I said, I interviewed and I hired tons of people, so I have this intuitive feel if somebody makes sense and somebody doesn't make sense, and then know what they're talking about, right? So it's very easy to get, someone as a good speaker and a charismatic person that can just talk their way through, whatever interview and then get hired, and it's not gonna work. And I think for me, it's already like somewhere sixth sense. So because of just now sheer number of people I interviewed and I hired. And that's one thing. And like, yeah, obviously I speak the language, so if I can, we can go deeper into topic and see. Yeah, and then obviously the demand side, the client side, yeah, also like try to understand the business before I suggest a specialist for them, right? And this matchmaking, it's kind of also easier for me than
It is a matchmaking at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I think it's just because of my experience and like years across the globe and the different brands, and I think I build up the skills to be able to find the right person for the right company and match them together and scope the project together. So I think.
Can you tell us a bit more about the business model?
So it's like as all other marketplaces, right? So our revenue.
Like a marketplace or like a recruitment?
No, it's more. I would say it's more like a marketplace, because recruiters, they just hire like a full time and they put them, and they have like the recruiter fee, right? So for me, it's the revenue model is a commission on the product, right? What's being billed to a client. So commission vary between like 10 to 60% depending on the size
I
of the
didn't
project.
get that. Can you tell me more about the commission
So whatever the freelancer decides to charge, like the hour per month or whatever, I had a percentage commission on top of that, and that's what being quoted to the client, and that's what's gonna bill to them if they sign on.
So it's not like a recruitment offer where you hire someone and then you pay the agency 1.5 months worth of salary.
No,
Okay. And what's the percentage rate? It
it's
varies from what
between
to
10
what?
and 10 and 16 depending on the size of the project.
10 and 16% from what he or she will get paid.
No, what he's charging. So if he's charging $100 an hour, just an example, so I can charge between 110 and 116.
Okay, okay, okay. And you get paid from the freelancer, not from the venture, from the business.
The client covers the cost, obviously. Freelance is being paid, whatever they wanted. So, but like it's very fluid, right? Because if you say I charge the freelancer, then freelancer will charge a little bit more, right? So it doesn't matter really. So it's total product. So if I charge, I say I charge the client, then freelancer charges a little less, and I just add my commission and go to the client, right? So it's essentially, you know, the client bears the cost as always because they are paying.
So, from what I'm understanding, it's a marketplace, but for specific projects and limited times, and then your retention will also be lower because it's really time bound. Can we find long term employees?
No, I don't do full time. So I have, it's just because I'm not a recruitment business, right? So yeah, all the contractors are part time, like a freelance, right? But they can stay with the client, as I mentioned, for like 5 years. And as long as the client is happy and freelance is happy, like why not? So it doesn't mean it's like short job. Yes, it's a part time. So, but yeah, that's.
And are you always on the lookout for new talent, or you have your pool of people and surroundings and freelancers and
Yeah,
that's
I'm
it?
always on the lookout, obviously, because people's circumstances change, right? And also, like, they, I have different clients, different industries, and some after like particular skills, and so it's always
And the majority of these talents are based where?
everywhere. I don't have even specific location where.
Nice. So, talking about marketing and business, and since you have the extensive background in marketing specifically, what is your outlook on the marketing industry and what's happening nowadays in the marketing strategies
Oh, it's
and how
very
it's
tricky.
shifting?
It's like we live in interesting times, right? So first of all, we are like in a maturity of performance marketing, right? So 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when you were doing like Google ads, you kind of, oh wow, right? I still remember like 10 years ago, literally like these big brands and MENA, they were like, oh my God, how you do it? Your ads are following me everywhere. I was literally asked these questions, and I'm like, dude, that's retargeting, right? And now like, everybody finally knows how to do retargeting and, like,
I spoke about the business, and now I have an ad showing the same
yeah,
product that I was mentioning.
yeah,
My
so that,
phone is listening to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's, but also like,
So, what changed?
so I think it's like everybody understood how the tools have not changed, right? You still have, major social media platform advertising. You have Google Ads, right? You don't have anything new, in a sense. So we had like a little spike in mobile marketing about like 2013, 2014, but because like Play Store and App Store opened different possibilities, but it wasn't just like groundbreaking. So, but the tools have not changed that much, like in terms of end product, like serving the ad.
Hmm.
But people who know how to use these tools and businesses how to use. Everybody's like online, right? So it's just no longer a mod, no longer is like a special thing you can win like your business with, right? So it's like a really mature industry and there's nothing new. And that's why like competition increases and just everybody competing for the same eyeballs on the same platforms and just investing more money. So that's really interesting because it like makes you creative, like how you go about this, right? Like because that's no longer your special sauce. everybody's doing it, everybody competing for the same users, and users hate ads, so you need to be like really do something to make it move, right? And that's just one thing. I think like everybody's preoccupied. I mean, I'm not talking about like privacy and
Exactly. That was my next question. What's your take on privacy?
yeah, I mean, I think
Because that changed from
yeah,
10, 15 years ago till
I think
now.
obviously like everybody's talking about it, and I agree it's an issue. However, like nobody talking about the industry maturity, right? It's just like imagine this, Apple introduced the things 10 years ago. Like what the effect would have been, right? We don't know, right? Because yeah, then back then if you do like Facebook ads right, you just like optimizing everything and you're like a great specialist and you're just rolling because all your competitors are just doing like impression and reach optimization, something like nonsense stuff, right? So like we don't know, right? We can only speculate, but I think it's like all things came together: the privacy, then COVID, then proliferation of like brands and users don't want to see your ads anymore, like we talk about this ad blindness, right? So it's not one isolated event, it's just everything together. But I think this is like where we stand, and something else should come, right? So to be like a new wave.
So for you, privacy is not really an issue, and we're not invading any private matter or space or data.
Oh, you mean from like a user point of view, not from advertiser point of view?
Yeah.
So I think it depends. Look, if you're using like Facebook or using Google, like that, I believe it's like a term of service, right? So whatever happening on a platform, I think like if you don't like it,
You agreed to it. You're
yeah,
there.
yeah.
You're
I think
using
I
it.
think look, I mean, we need to be objective. I don't like just people need to take a bit more responsibility for what they do, and what content they browse, and also like I mean, you've been because of the targeting and everything, you've been served more or less like relevant ads. Let's just like advertising is not going anywhere, right? But
Which I
imagine,
personally love it, by the way. Me as a consumer, I love the fact that I'm being served with what I really am looking for and I like and my preferences, because my behavior as a consumer is being matched
yeah, and like
with the new privacy and data and the way advertising engines are now running. Okay, targeting is being more precise, and I personally enjoy it.
yeah, me too. Like I don't want to be served like random ads, right? So you don't use Instagram without ads, right? They also need to monetize. It's like we don't live in like a pie in the sky society. We live in like a capitalism, right? So if something exists and they need to monetize it, that's fine. And yeah, instead of just being bombarded by some random ads like with zero relevancy to you, you're being served ads based on your like browsing history, based on your interest. I don't think it's bad,
And exactly
right?
that's your behavior on the platform. No
Yeah,
one forced you to use the platform or the service or the app or whatever. And
yeah,
these social media channels, they want to make ends meet at the end of the day, and they want to monetize, as you said. So now they're optimizing their ads, and they're up leveling their targeting, and they're matching it with the behavior of their users and consumers. So I believe that it's a personal choice, and everyone should be aware and conscious of what they are using and how they're using it, so they don't get really later on uh, I don't know, they're gonna be questioning, oh, my phone is listening to me. No, it's not the
yeah.
case.
But however, there is like a different aspect of it, right? First, like the data obtained illegally, right? You like spam emails and these calls, right? Where they got my phone number from, where they got my, if I explicitly didn't opt in and like they claim it's like publicly available information,
Of
no,
course.
I don't want to receive, spam emails or spam phone calls or SMS or WhatsApp messages, right? So that's like wrong. But I think it's like like for me, if I receive a spam from a brand I didn't sign up, I will never buy from them because this is like invasion of my privacy, I would say. So
It's someone knocking on your door without getting an invite or scheduling a meeting with
Exactly.
you. They just show up. Yeah, I don't want you showing up like that
Oh
on my front
yeah.
door.
Or like, there was like a story about this healthcare app selling the data. That's also like, you know, I would like, it's at least not like not ethical. I'm not sure if it's criminal or not. It's not for me to decide, but it's definitely unethical. And people disclose, their medical history to be matched with a doctor. That should stay definitely private and never be disclosed. The same with financial data, you're obviously right. So,
Who
but
sold their clients' data? I don't know the story.
no, it's not. It's not in MENA, right? So it's just like the app which we're matching, users with like healthcare providers. So they're being investigated right now for breach of client privacy or whatever. So I was just reading
Yeah,
the news.
that's big. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's illegal because you're
yeah.
selling data. It's different. Uh, okay, so we spoke a bit about advertising. We spoke a bit about privacy and basics of marketing and the evolution of the industry. And I'm interested to know, do you have any best practice, any how would you describe the current ways of marketing products, especially all this hype that is being created?
So I think start with product is number one priority. So marketing, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. It's not gonna make it beautiful. So like it's very easy to blame marketing, but if you don't have product,
Sometimes the lipstick on a pig might be nice, though.
yeah, it could be
Some would argue with you.
if the pig is pretty. So let's find a pretty pig, and then we can put the lipstick. So
No, but
yeah,
yeah, really, like you should focus on the matter first. So it's a product or a service, you should start with it. That's what
so
you're
I
saying.
think like top thing for every founder is product market fit. And product market fit is not like once and done, right? Because once you begin, you just like trying to find actual users, like first users for your product. But once you're already big, right? So you still have to concern yourself with product market fit in the sense that your like original audience, you might be saturating your original audience, you're expanding into different audiences, you're expanding into different markets, you do different things with your product. So it's always like maybe if your product was satisfactory for first 100 users, it doesn't necessarily mean that your product will be satisfactory for your 100,000 users. So it's just different, and that's why you have to iterate. You have to, if you don't have retention, if your product does not stick, if you don't have retention and referral, you just like don't bother with putting money on marketing. So
So from what I'm hearing is focus first on the product, on the market fit, so on the market, and on the audience and the retention.
I mean,
These are the three components to kickstart a good, healthy venture.
so your retention is a mark of your product market fit. So if you don't have retention, you don't have product market fit. So you can spend all the money you want and you have best marketers to acquire your customers. But if they don't stay, they don't repurchase, they don't refer their friends, like why are you acquiring them? So it's like a race to the bottom. That's why we saw all these wonderful tech startups to like shut down after burning through millions, and that's why, because just nobody wanted their product.
Yeah, I believe you got it right in there, and it's a good way to really section it and identify it. And talking about markets, how do you perceive the MENA region?
It's interesting. It's not as different from everything else like Southeast Asia. Southeast Asia is like completely different universe. So media is somewhere like there are a lot of you know like that's why I think international brands find it easier to enter these markets rather than like Vietnam or something, because but it's also like unique in the sense that like how user like the importance of influencer marketing, because people cannot trust this influence, especially in like places like Saudi, Kuwait, right? It's very different from the West, let's say, and like people search less, like
So are you
much less,
saying there's more trust in here?
more trust into influencers.
Okay.
So people actually buy.
Is it trust or naivety?
I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know what you like. I think it's both, right? It's just like importance of this celebrity content creators, right? So that's you know the it's actually like the influencer marketing is actually a sales channel, or it's not a brand development channel. So that's why it's just like you can like less
And
click
what
attribution
do you
cost.
think about these content creators and influencers in the region?
I think if they provide content people are interested in consuming, then it's good, right? So it's like also like a lot of beauty makeup artists, right, and like comedians or whatever. That's it's like I think it's just market dynamics. If you put something out there, people like, then why not? So I think yeah.
And are people consuming the right type of content? Are we getting the good out of it, or are the people bombarded by lots of random stuff, and brands and influencers are creating wants more than needs?
Like I tend not to judge. So everybody have their own goals, and you know if you're happy where you are, then just be there you are. If you're not happy where you are, then don't complain and do something about it. That's
So you
the
don't have
key
an
point.
outlook on consumerism per se.
No, I don't like really. If people like, yeah, like I am in a spot where I'm happy, where I'm fulfilled, I'm healthy. Then like if you like rich, then just go and buy Ferrari, right? If it makes you happy. However, if you go putting yourself into debt to buy a Ferrari, then we have a problem, right? So I think
So be mindful about your purchases.
yeah, and just like see where you want to be, and like if you are there, that means what you're doing is correct. But if you're not there, like you're not achieving your goals, or you're unhappy, then you need to do something about it.
So from what I'm understanding, you would rather say like the people should watch their behavior and their consumption of content and online stuff and do their own diligence at the end of the day and choose what to do, what action to take,
Yeah,
what purchases to do, and create their own life on the side, but not be just all in, going on new trends and new hypes.
yeah, I'm a big fan of personal responsibility. Like look in the mirror, and if you're an adult, everything what happened to you is your responsibility. So that's my
Nice. I like that. I abide by it personally,
yeah.
and I believe in
Yeah, when people complain,
consciousness and mindfulness.
then people complain about Facebook, and people complain about advertising, and people complain about influencers. I think they just need to have like a very nice hard look in the mirror, and the person who is looking at you from the mirror is the one responsible, not Facebook.
Nice. That I like the analogy, and yeah. Okay, so we spoke about a general overview and all of that. Now let's get a bit technical from your expertise. Uh, can you tell us a bit about how should people be optimizing their ads, their growth? Any tips and tricks that you can share?
I mean, it's very generic, right? Obviously, like if we don't have a particular brand, but what I mentioned is like already the importance of retention and product market fit. That's like number one. You never get it wrong if you look at the retention, and like if you're not getting the retention, like what's going on, you need to investigate, and you need to work on your product, your pricing, like whatever is in there. Then the second one, I think universal, is the importance of right KPIs, because what I saw like over and over again people pull out tons of performance metrics, and they just there sitting in a report, and like, like, why are you looking? What's the point of having all these metrics, right? So it's just like, usually my recommendation would be
Would
like,
you consider followers and like counts metrics and KPIs?
if you're like a media business, then yes. If
Media
you
business,
Yeah,
interesting because it of reach. Yeah.
yeah. So if you're a media business, if you're a social media platform, yeah, you probably want that. But if you're like e-commerce business, you probably shouldn't care, right?
And are you getting these clients where they're an e-com, an app, they're a service, they're a product, and all they care about are follower count and like counts?
Not necessarily, not really actually, because people who like my clients are already like in maturity stage and they're trying to monetize. So even if they're like a content app, they're looking to monetize. They're looking for like paid subscribers, for example, right? So and that's their key KPI. So they're not like early stage, up to play some game. Even if they're game, they're looking for monetization. They're looking to optimize paid users conversion and things like that.
And how do you consult and advise on any project? How do you formulate your offering? What do you exactly
Like
do?
I do like due diligence first of all, right, and see like where inefficiencies are, there like growth opportunities are, and actually like see if I can
So you audit
contribute.
the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, and
Okay, that's
actually
the
like
start.
to understand whether my skills are right one for to advise this particular business. If I have like the right experience. So that's
Okay, and once you took on a new project, how do you advise them? What is your structure and what do you do?
so just looking into inefficiencies and growth opportunities. Inefficiencies are usually easy to eliminate. You just cut the noise, right? And then the growth opportunities are always like tricky, and you have to go into this experimentation and making hypotheses. Is like a science lab. you know you make a hypothesis, you test it, you succeed or fail, and you test another one, and then that's how you uncover growth opportunities.
And at the end, you give them a turnkey solution and a roadmap, an action
Yeah,
plan.
roadmap and action plan. Yes, junky solution would be like overstated.
You don't execute, right?
No, I don't. And usually it's either their own team or they have an opportunity to hire marketed people, right? So that's
But you used to execute when you were employed, right?
yeah.
And how did you switch from being the executioner and the executionist, sorry, not the
But I think
executioner?
it's like a
Uh,
normal career progression. Once you're manager, you stop executing, right? You don't build up campaign, and obviously you lose your, skills in terms of like execution, but you become like manager. So I think it's like everywhere. So if manager is doing execution, like why he's a manager? That's like
he'll be a bad manager then.
you become a strategist. You become like a people person. You start balancing people, and yeah, that's
What was your last job?
like a job. Job was
A
CMO in
full-time
Rocket.
job.
Yeah, CMO in Rocket a while back.
CMO, okay. And you stayed in it for how long?
So Rocket Middle East was like 2 years. So like end of 2013 till end of 2015. Yeah, so I came as head of digital, and then I progressed to CMO, like a CMO for Middle East.
And what happened after 3 years? So you decided just to leave the job environment and start something on your own.
Yeah, always. I'm an entrepreneur. It's my, you know, my calling. I want to build things. I want to be my own boss. I can't. It's like when you're young, when you want to learn, then you're better employed, of course, because then you're exposed to people, and like you can make your mistakes. But then at some point, if you want to be entrepreneur, then you have to be entrepreneur. It's just like
What defines you as an entrepreneur? Why do you say like I was an entrepreneur before even starting your venture?
always, like I will like the idea of creation. like creating something from nothing. Like you have a company, there was no company, and now you have a company, and now you have people, and it's just so beautiful. Like it's just like art, like
I like
building.
that.
Yeah.
So, did you create any companies before
Like in
while
rocket,
you were still
like
in
in
the
rocket,
job?
you participate in company creation, right? So you don't create them on your own, but you like you know.
Okay, so after 3 years, you said, "Okay, I'm done with this position, with being employed. I'm starting my own company. I've built enough, and I helped enough people.
No, like
Now I'm helping myself."
there was a stage, right, from after rocket and before Unmarketd, I was just an advisor, right? So I was like coming into companies and helping them. So it was just me, just full-time advisor, but for different companies. So it was also, and then Unmarketd started 2018. So between 15 and 18, I was an advisor. I was like self-employed, but yeah, I didn't
Okay.
have anybody else. It was just
And what happened to Unmarketed during COVID?
it was a bit difficult situation because a lot of businesses uh, just went out of business, right? And then I had to cover the costs out of my own pocket by freelance. It was a bit tough time. And but then it picked up because like once we were out of lockdowns and a lot of businesses realized they need to go online, and then they need someone to help them out. So it kind of, I think, like
And it picked up and maybe it doubled also.
I think it's like net positive. So so it's like, yeah, I'm still there. I'm still doing it. So that means somehow I'm making profit, right? So,
Do you have any co-founders with you?
sorry,
Do you have any co-founders?
for Unmarketd, no.
Do you have any other ventures that I'm not aware of?
Yes, but it's not yet. It's in private beta yet. But
Private beta,
yeah,
okay. Which industry, what category, what's the...
it's intersection of content and AI, like AI for content creation. Let's put it this way.
Nice. So you do utilize AI and
Absolutely. Like the moment I opened ChatGPT in 2020, it just blew my mind. I said, when I grow up, I want to be like this.
I want to create another car that can be the same like me, so we can go at a full force.
Yeah.
Can you help me do that?
Oh yeah. We just
That
need the right amount of GPUs and we can go. It's all down to computational power.
that's nice. Can you tell us? It looks like you're so into AI. What's your take on it, and how do you see like the best way to utilize artificial intelligence?
Like I think, like I said, overall trend, I'm very positive, because like I'm techno optimist, let's say. So I believe it has so much opportunities to help people, like in the medical field and in the research field, and optimizing like a resource utilization, like as a global thing. I think like people talk about AGI and it's gonna kill us all. I just find it overhyped, and I see much more positive than negative. I believe, yes, a lot of jobs gonna be destroyed, but a lot of jobs gonna be created as well. So I think this, we'll see it like very, very soon. Like from translation to junior like medical doctors to junior lawyers. I think that's gonna be replaced by AI sooner rather than later. But at the end,
Doctors also,
like junior level, not
junior level.
not like specialists, but that like general practitioner kind of type of thing. I
Have you
think,
seen the early detections of cancerous
yeah, it's
cells?
like super like 5 years before yeah, it's amazing.
It blew my mind. Like for the people that don't know the news, like AI detected 5 years before it happened a breast cancer in a patient's breast.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So
Imagine like how many lives gonna be saved, right?
that's really amazing, and I truly believe in the power of AI and the help that humanity will be getting. However, it's also about us humans and how we consume and how we utilize the technology and the tools and everything. We can use it for good and we can use it for bad. I can
Yeah,
use it to scam you. I can create a video of Julia saying I don't know what and publish it online and ruin your reputation.
yeah,
So
100%.
there's a lot of pros and cons for sure, but I truly believe that it's up to us humans. What do we do with it?
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
And so, how do you use AI on a daily basis in your job, in your work, in your
So
venture?
like it helps me a lot with research, right? So if I want to do something, like I need more information, I need to summarize information. That's just like daily basis. If I want to investigate something, if I want new ideas, like it's like my assistant basically.
Did you create bots and are running them for your business?
No,
Not yet. Would
so
you be doing it?
it's mostly like Perplexity and ChatGPT, right? So for research purposes, it's just like my assistant, like as if I'm talking to intelligent intern. That's what's happening, and yeah, and yeah, I think that's kind of my thing. And like I can see a lot of content. I don't want to talk much about it before we live, before we out of private beta.
I'm
But
interested about it, by the way. As you know, I also have a 360-degree marketing agency. So if it's something that can be used also in bulk and customized, maybe it might be interesting for an agency to utilize it.
yeah, I think
So keep me posted about the
yeah,
solution.
yeah. I
So while we're concluding this lovely episode, Julia, what advice would you offer to upcoming entrepreneurs who aim to break into the digital marketing or tech industry, especially those looking to scale their ventures rapidly?
love your mistakes. Don't be afraid of the mistakes. This is how you, like in startups, you're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Don't be defensive. Admit it, and just it's like you what they say. You never fail. You just learn new ways how not to do things, right? So, and yeah, just go for it. Life is very short. If you don't do it, then you know who will do it.
You regret it later.
Yeah, and you definitely regret it. Like leave minimizing regrets, I would say.
Exactly, and there's a nice saying. It's a bit cliche now and overused, but you will probably regret the opportunities and the chances that you didn't take more
Yeah,
than the chances that you failed or the mistakes that you
yeah,
have done.
definitely.
Yeah. So thank you for the advice. Thank you for the episode and the insights.
Thank you for your questions and having me. Yeah,
It was a good overview on yourself and on the industry as well and on the marketing. I really enjoyed our
me
conversation.
too. Thank